Solo lovers, today I will present to you the third episode of the third season. Prepare your favorite drink and enjoy. Thank you for your legendary comments. Thank you for your continuous support. Let's reach this episode 100 likes. I love you, brothers. Let's start. My dear, do not forget to watch the previous episode first, because the events are linked. In the previous episode, we stopped at the visit of the members of the First Sand Council to Jinwoo. They want to invite him to participate in a new cave. So what happened? Let's find out. Jinwoo allowed them to enter. Jung-soo introduced himself. Immediately, Jinwoo was shown a clip of the new gate. It appeared in the city of Busan. It was a huge gate, from which a huge magical energy was generated. However, it was not classified as a gate of the S rank. This is the largest gate of the S rank in Korea. He told them that the First Sand Council will prohibit us from entering it because we do not have a First Sand of the S rank. For this reason, they want to join them in this cave. On the other hand, he will get a huge reward, bigger than usual. As usual, the First Sand Council gets 10% of the profits. But we will give you 20%. Jinwoo said he wanted half the profits. Jung-soo was shocked by this number, because he is exaggerating. So Jinwoo told him that he would agree to consider him as a representative, not an individual hunter. Jung-soo tried to negotiate and offered 40%. But Jinwoo refused. Either half, or he will not participate. So Jung-soo agreed reluctantly. But on one condition. Jinwoo must take care of the strong monsters and the leader. So he accepted the offer. Jung-soo told them that the gate was opened a week ago. So they have to go today and get ready to enter it tomorrow. So Jinwoo told them to meet there. Because he has an important appointment today. And he can't go with them. Jung-soo noticed that Jinwoo was moving. And he told his friend about it. But he didn't believe her. And he asked her if she drank alcohol or not. At this moment, Jinwoo's phone number was unknown. So he apologized and left the room to see who was calling. It was his mother. She bought a new phone. And she called him because she wanted to hear his voice. And she apologized to him if she interrupted his work. So he told her that he was free. And also happy because she called him. And he told her to meet some night to have dinner. The next day, the hunters met in front of the gate. It opened on the city beach. All the hunters are strong. And they have excellent equipment. And they are waiting for Jinwoo to start the hunt. Jung-soo was worried about Jinwoo's delay. And he regretted that he didn't bring him with him yesterday. There were only 5 minutes left to start the hunt. But Jinwoo was literally still at home. He went out and found the weather was cloudy. And he asked himself if his sister took the medallion or not. And at this moment, it was time to move. He used the ability to exchange with the shadow. And he reached the meeting place in a blink of an eye. And he was also amazed by the size of this gate. The scene moves to Jinwoo's school. A group of students appear to go to the art hall. And they were curious because the teacher sent them to bring a statue of gypsum. They entered the hall. It was full of dust, as if it was abandoned. Suddenly, he saw something strange. A small door opened inside the hall. And one of the students went to it without fear. And he told the rest, there is no need to go home. There is no way to get out of this door. Only hunters can enter it. Therefore, the situation is safe. Indeed, they felt comfortable when they heard this. But suddenly, there was a crack in the door. A huge hand came out and grabbed the student from his head. He tried to escape, but he couldn't. He asked his friends for help, but it was too late. His head was literally crushed in front of them. Then the monster took his whole body out of the door. And in a moment, the room was filled with blood. The 3 students were killed, and no one survived. These monsters belong to the orc tribe. They have weak intelligence, but they hunt instinctively. And they are more agile if they smell blood. This team's role is to find out. But when they realized that the place was full of monsters, they couldn't wait. They sent one of them to the news, while the rest decided to start hunting here. And when the rest of the army arrived, they would invade the city. The hall door was broken, and the monster came out. The hall was full of students. They were busy talking to each other. Suddenly, they heard a noise coming from the art hall. And before they realized what was happening, the monster was in front of them. He was holding a spear in his hand. And he was planning to devour them all. We go back to Gino. He was analyzing the team's strength. There were 20 hunters from rank B, and 13 hunters from rank A. And he was amazed by this large number of hunters. Then one of them called him from behind. When he turned around, he found a group of hunters who could be considered his fans. And they were all excited. And they were depending on him today. Gino didn't expect to have such a welcome. So Yerim intervened and asked them to leave Gino the hunter alone. Then she introduced herself as the main healer for the horse team. And after the team was complete, Jung-soo decided to start explaining the plan. He told them that he would be the leader of this cave. The rest of the hunters didn't like that, and they preferred Jinwoo to be the leader. So he told them that the hunter Song Jin would be in charge of protecting us from behind. Then one of them spoke and said, "With this weakness, do we need someone to protect us?" He was one of the fans, and his enthusiasm led him to say that. Then Jung-soo apologized to Jinwoo, and he told him that these are our usual atmospheres. Don't consider that a shame. Then Jinwoo understood, and he told him that this shows their confidence in themselves. No problem for me. Jung-soo looked at his phone. The time had come, and they went to the gate. The scene moved to the emergency center. Everything was normal, until they got this call. One of the students reported seeing monsters in the school. The contact was a girl. She was hiding in the schoolyard, and she was covered with blood. She was crying and literally fainting from fear. All her friends died, and she managed to escape at the last minute. The employee tried to calm her down, and she told her that hunters are coming to save them, and she asked her to hide until they arrive. This gave the student hope that she could survive and live. So the employee asked her to describe the shape of these monsters. She told her that their color is green. Their hair looks like humans, and they have ugly faces. But suddenly one of the monsters appeared in front of the school gate. When the employee heard the descriptions, she realized that they were orcs. And she told the student to get out of there quickly, because the orcs had a strong smell. But it was too late. The monster attacked her, and did what it did. The employee heard everything, and she felt shocked and sad, because she couldn't do anything to help her. The students tried to escape, and indeed some of them managed to get out safely. But most of them were killed, and there are still many hiding in the classrooms. The orcs closed the only staircase that leads to the outside, and they began to move. Here the upper floor appears. A group of guards were gathered in this room. They hid and tried to close the door with tables, and they only had chairs and planks to defend themselves. Suddenly the door was broken. All the students ran away. The leader of the group entered, and his body was covered with human blood, and his weapon is a dagger. One of the students tried to escape from the back door, and he found another monster there. And before he could do anything, the winner was in front of him, and he cut his head in half. One of the orcs noticed the student's face. A magical energy was emitted from it, so he ordered the leader to kill her first, and he meant what Gina said. The hunter's sister Song Jinwoo. She was hiding in the back, and she wished that Jinwoo would appear to save her. The monster left the mosque, and targeted her first. Gina closed her eyes, ready to die. But nothing happened. When she opened her eyes, she found Jinwoo's shadow in front of her. The monster stopped at the last moment. Gina was happy, and she thought that her brother had arrived. The shadow hit the monster hard, and literally pierced the ceiling. The leader of the group was shocked by the power of the shadow. He is an orc like them, but much stronger than them. 3 shadows appeared there. Jinwoo ordered them to protect his sister while he was absent. The scene moves to the gate in the city of Busan. Jung-soo warned everyone of a monster coming towards them. It was a wolf with 2 heads, literally a giant compared to their size, and he carries a whip in his hand. The wolf attacked. He hit the giant with his whip. Jung-soo was ready to fight. He made a strong shield to protect himself. The whip came towards him at full speed, and there was a clash. Literally the ground under Jung-soo was destroyed, but the shield remained, and he gave a signal to Yeonmi to move. This last one took the victory at great speed. He held his sword firmly, and he cut the wolf's eye. He didn't give the chance to the other hunters to attack him. The monster was not able to see, and they succeeded in injuring him easily. The wizards also took part in the attack, because the Orc League relies on collective work, and literally the wolf was crushed. Then they met again to reorganize the ranks. But Jung-soo was worried. Indeed, this gate is stronger than he thought, because this gate is known as the Graveyard Guard, which means that this cell is full of zombies. Therefore, killing them will not be easy. The hunters, as soon as they saw the zombie coming, were afraid, and they asked the leader if they should retreat. But suddenly the zombies stopped in their place, and they began to retreat. The hunters do not understand what is happening, because it is common for monsters to attack as soon as they see humans. They do not know that Jinwoo is the reason, and the last one was afraid, because the gate is weaker than he thought. At this moment, he received a signal from his shadow with his sister. They began to consume energy higher than usual, which means that a danger has appeared there. And without hesitation, Jung-soo told him to go, because there is an urgent matter to take care of. The last one did not accept. And he told him, "If you go, we will be in danger." Jinwoo replied to him, "I will call for someone you can trust. He will compensate my absence, and he will take care of everything." Then suddenly Biro appeared next to him. The leader and the other hunters were shocked to see him, and they know that he is the same ant that devoured everyone on Yeo Island. So Jinwoo told them, "Since you know him, there is no need to explain." And Biro ordered him to protect humans. So Biro asked him, "Is there another order, sir?" So Jinwoo told him, "Do what you want as long as you protect them." Biro was excited. He had been waiting for this opportunity for a long time. The hunters, when they felt his strength, felt that they were just guests, and they would not have any role in this cave. Jinwoo called for 20 other ants to help Biro in this mission. Jung-soo was still uncomfortable. Yerim asked Jinwoo, "Will you go and leave these monsters behind you so easily?" He looked at her with angry eyes and said, "I can pull them out immediately if you want." He literally scared them and immediately withdrew from their words. Jinwoo tried to use the exchange technique, but he couldn't, because the rest time was not over yet, and he set off madly towards the exit. There was no time to warn him. Yenny asked the leader what to do now. He only replied, "Stay where you are." Jinwoo was worried. The signs coming from his soldiers were constantly changing, which means that something dangerous is happening there. And on his way, a group of zombies appeared. Jinwoo was very angry. He didn't want to be late anymore. He withdrew his weapons and continued to advance. But suddenly all of them turned in front of him. Jinwoo was surprised. He didn't expect this to happen. And he said, "Maybe the reason is that I'm stronger than the person controlling them." So he jumped on them and got out of the gate. And on the other side, his black dragon appeared. It was a scary scene. All the people there took out their phones to take pictures of him. And they know that this person is the hunter Song Jinwoo. The dragon spread its huge wings. And Jinwoo ordered him to go directly to his sister's place. As fast as possible. We returned to the school. The shadows began to kill the orcs. And the students were shocked. They don't believe that they survived death. They think that the shadows are also enemies. But the guard caught the two monsters at the same time. And he stomped them on the ground. This was literally enough to kill them. As for the students, they are still not aware of what is happening. They don't believe that these black monsters saved them. Jinwoo is still waiting for her brother's return. She went ahead to look for her. But the shadow stopped her. And he brought her back behind him. Then he pointed his finger at the door. To understand that the matter is not over yet. There is still an orc outside. He moves the scene inside the gate. The orcs, my brothers, reached the leader's room. And the last chain was broken. And now he is able to leave the human world. Here came the news that there are 3 orcs helping humans. But they are less than them. And this angered the leader, because his team failed to get rid of the orcs. He carried a weapon and decided to take care of them personally. We returned to the gate of Busan. The ants began to attack. The hunters were terrified. They want to withdraw in fear of the ants. They think they can turn against them at any moment. Jinwoo still hasn't reached a decision, but he doesn't want to stop the hunt. And at the same time, he is also afraid like his followers. And in the end, he decided to continue. The most important thing is the reputation of the team. And he doesn't want people to say that they are a stupid team. Suddenly, Piro appeared in front of him, literally frozen with fear. He didn't know what to do. Then he told him to go. Piro didn't move from his place. He didn't like it. So he said it gently. "Shall we go?" So he disappeared in a blink of an eye. And before he noticed, he came back again. He threw something from his hand and left again. The hunters gathered around the leader to reassure him. They asked him if he would follow them. He said yes. And when they looked down, they found the head of the leader of the zombie team between their feet. He was the strongest among them. And Piro killed him in less than a second. Jung-soo was excited, because he could earn a lot of money from selling these remains. Then he asked his followers who of them wanted to continue. He was surprised that everyone advanced. And he was the last of them. We go back to the school. Dill was suffering this time, because the opponent was the leader of the orcs. He was proud of the number of wounds on his body, because it symbolizes the number of victims. Dill's soldiers were renewed, and the leader was enjoying cutting them. As for them, everything they do is to resist their masters. They try to delay as much as possible. And no matter what Dill does, it continues to renew. The leader began to be annoyed by this. And he asked them, "Is there no limit to your renewal?" But what really bothers him is that a voice inside his head orders him to kill humans. And this still delays him. What makes that voice stronger and hurts him inside his head? That's why he decided to get rid of the girl, because she is the source of this still. He built his soldiers to attack them, and he will take advantage of their pause to renew, to attack the girl. And indeed, Dill was engaged with the soldiers. The students felt the danger and retreated to the back, and at this moment, the leader was able to reach her. He grabbed her by the head and lifted her in the air. He told her, "I was right. The magical energy was removed from you." Then he pressed her, trying to kill her. At this moment, Jinwoo appears, approaching. The leader felt his strength, and literally, out of fear, Jinwoo left without feeling. Jinwoo, my brothers, coming at a crazy speed. Jinwoo's friend tried to reassure her, but the leader of the orcs, he didn't care about them anymore, and he was focusing on the next thing. So the closer he got, his fear increased, and he told his followers that something is coming, very scary, and he told them to get ready. And at this moment, Jinwoo arrived. Jinwoo was excited. The dust filled the room. Suddenly, she felt a hand touching her head. It's Appa, her older brother. She told him, "Don't worry." The leader froze in his place. He didn't dare to say a word. He was waiting for his turn. Jinwoo stopped. She followed him. Not dead. The leader tried to recognize himself. So Jinwoo raised his hand and said, "You close your mouth and wait. Your turn will come soon." Then he hugged his sister. She started crying. So he apologized for being late. He asked the rest, "Are you okay?" They said yes. Then he looked at his sister again. He noticed a mark on her face. He immediately called Icarus, and he told him to take care of his sister, because these orcs will take care of themselves. And he told her to get everyone out of here first. One of the orcs was thinking about attacking. So Jinwoo threw him with a literally deadly look. And he said to him, "I told you not to move." Daolal and Jinwoo, with the help of the Black Dragon, they started to get the students out of the school. The leader understood that the one in front of him was the leader of these Daolal, but he didn't understand. How could a human speak the same language as them? Jinwoo was very angry. He didn't say a word. The leader understood that the opportunity to speak didn't exist anymore, and he ordered his followers to attack. So they all moved at the same time. Jinwoo grabbed the first of his hands, and he put his sword on the ground. Then he raised his foot and shook his head. The second and third used their remote control skill. He shocked them with each other. Then he closed his grip, so he turned them into chains. And this increased the excitement of the rest of the monsters. They attacked him. Jinwoo also advanced. And suddenly, each monster lost part of his body. Everything passed very quickly. Jinwoo literally cut them with his own hand. And there was only the leader left. This last one asked him who you are. But before he could finish his question, Jinwoo grabbed him by the mouth. And he put him on the wall. At this moment, he saw the bodies of the students in the corridor. They were all dead. So he asked the leader, "Why are you so eager to kill humans? What's the reason?" He answered that there is a voice inside their heads ordering them to kill humans. So he asked him, "What about me? Doesn't he tell you to kill me?" The monster begged him to forgive him. But Jinwoo wanted an answer to his question. As for the monster, he continued to ask for mercy, ignoring the question. And without the help of Jinwoo, they will not succeed in cleaning the gate. At this moment, Beerus appeared. He advanced towards them. Jinwoo showed his weapon, and he understood that the monsters do not consider him a human. The shadow literally surrounded his body completely, as if the king of the shadows himself appeared, and he cut the leader's head. We go back to the knight's hat. Yerim was having a conversation with an ant, because she wants to eat a Yudo worth millions. So she tried to get the ant away from her, and by mistake, she was hunted, and she was removed from her shoulder. So Beerus appeared immediately, and he warned the ant, and he told her about the king's order. So the signs of fear appeared on her. Beerus treated the hunter. So she thanked him and was amazed, because he was just a beggar, and still better than her in treatment. And at that moment, they reached the leader's room. He was a black ghost with red eyes, and in the middle of his chest, he felt a green light. He was called Leech, and surrounded by his strongest soldiers. This leader is very famous in the human world, because he is one of the biggest Chinese leeches. Leech admitted that this monster is strong, and his team cannot hit it with any tool. The soldiers surrounded them from the front and back. So all the monsters that the ant did not eat returned to life. Leech ordered them to close the door. Yerim made a magical shield, and told the leader that it will not last long. They only have 5 minutes, as a minimum limit. Leech admitted that they were in trouble. Leech did not understand why the Shadow Army was attacking them. They are supposed to be allies. Beerus laughed and replied to him, We have chosen the king personally. As for you, no. Leech said that this was impossible, and he will go to the king and ask him himself. So Beerus moved in front of him very quickly and attacked him directly in his chest. And he said to him, "You talk a lot, and this is not suitable for a person on the verge of death." And here we will stop. Watch the rest of the events in the next episodes. I love you, brothers. Goodbye.